to the genuine race start, unless my internet decides to collapse again. I believe this should be the right stream. So, annoying if you want to rewatch this and it's on two separate screens, but not a lot I can do. Internet just cut. But we are back for the genuine race start, and again we have sunny clouds above the Silverstone circuit, but we can get down to the racing action in just a few minutes time. But yeah, let's go. We can get the formation lap underway for the lead us away from KP, and then we got Keanu T-Crombie job. A very decent qualifying from T-Crombie, beating a Ferrari and a Mercedes, and then behind them you got Thomas, who bested the rest. Haas need good points this weekend. They haven't scored frequently for about at least a couple of races, so they need to get back in the fight for P3, 4 and 5 in the constructors. Currently sat in P6. They are... My phone loads. So there's the pit stop strategy. A one stop. It'll probably be a one stop unless we have a safety car. So medium to hard, boxing around lap 12, at a push lap 16. But obviously it goes the other way. If you're on the hard tyre, you'll be boxing around lap 14, lap 16. If you want more tyre life, maybe to go into the soft tyre at the end. But we see what... Apart from the bottom three, who have all decided to be a little bit quirky and go for the hard tyres on this race start. Haas are currently 9 points off Alfa Romeo in 5th. AlphaTauri on 95 points, Ferrari on 65, Alfa Romeo on 55, Haas on 46. But at the moment, Red Bull lead the constructors' standings ahead of Mercedes, but the gap there is only 9 points. But here we go then. Everyone is lining up on the grid, and we wait to see if I think Koru missed his grid slot there. Keanu is aiming over towards KP on this race start. That better not be the grid slot. Oh, come on. Good camera angle. Here we go then. We have 5 lights on at the British Grand Prix. And the lights are out and nobody's going. We have a standing start, but Koru is away, and it's a great start from KP Games, and he's already side by side with his teammate, but he has to back off, and he's now alongside Keanu, who slips ahead into the first corner, and that's an AlphaTauri and a Williams going around of E-Cloud and Green Dragon, but into the first couple of corners. Koru has spun it on the grass. Cold tyres for the Red Bull. Keanu leads KP Games, who leads Josh, and then T-Crombie is trying to sneak up the inside, has to back out, and Josh is now sent spinning round. Reese Thomas is up into 5th place. Thomas is out. Thomas is in the wall with T-Crombie, and there's absolute chaos on this race start. Reese Thomas is up into P3. Dark Raven P4. F1 Lewis is up into P5. Thomas has lost his wing on the race start and is now spun round. T-Crombie has to avoid, is now spun as well. And there is absolute carnage on this opening lap. Mink has moved up a place. Ollie the Boy and E-Cloud both up 8 places on this race start. Reese Thomas is up into P3. after the chaos in front of him, but out at the front, Keanu leads KP Games. Keanu had a great start, slipping ahead of one of the Red Bulls, I believe it was KP, and then of course he went side by side with Koru, who eventually had his spin, but Goncalo Silva is now fighting with F1 Lewis, I believe, on the line cookie, who is under pressure from Mink, but Koru down in P10, and then you got Thomas, who's going to have to box, and Josh, who's had a horrible start. Seems to have his front wing, but a lot of drivers pull into the pit lane. I believe Grin Dragon has a drive-through, which really doesn't help him. But I'm surprised no safety car. F1 Lewis has actually snuck onto the podium at the moment. He's got ahead of Reese Thomas. That's glitch at the moment. Anyway, Goncalo Silva up into P5, and then you got Line Cookie in P6. Mink has got ahead of a driver who I believe has pitted, but I believe there will be a train forming behind F1 Lewis on those medium tyres, currently on the podium, but there is a Red Bull in P8 who's going to be navigating traffic fairly quickly in these opening laps. But out of the front, Keanu Mania 1.1 second gap to KP Games. Ted said before the start that he didn't think Keanu had the pace to fight the Red Bulls, but at the moment he is showing that he has the pace to keep KP out of his DRS. Reese Thomas is all fairly split apart from Koru. He's going to now slip up the inside of Mink. Mink isn't going to fight this one too hard, as Koru almost blocks him off there, but Mink manages to let the Red Bull through, and that is Goncalo Silva into the box, and I wonder what that's for. Anyway, the Line Cookie runs over the curb and is just going to have to let Koru through after running over the sausage curb at the final corner. There is an Aston Martin which is slow. I'm very calm, I'm very tired. Drive-through for Silva apparently, so that's why he's in the box. But I think there was a drive-through for the Williams as well. But yeah, out of the front, 8 tenths between them at the moment, and EK Cloud is going to be putting the pressure on Ollie De Boy in these first couple of laps, who's got Weston right up behind him. Weston takes that more narrow line and gets a great exit, and I thought he was going to get past there, but with the DRS, is he going to try sneak up the inside into Cops? No is the answer, and has to stay behind for the moment. Koru is now going to be putting the pressure on Reese Thomas, and I'd assume the next lap, as DRS is now activated, so that's giving them more speed down the straight. Oh, Lewis has lost it, and the podium slides out of his grasp, and he's going to be down to at least P7. I think he's going to hold P7, but he's got to watch now because he's going to have those warmer tyres. I hope he doesn't send him for another spin, but Koru is almost going to be instantly back on the podium if he can navigate Reese Thomas anytime soon. F1 Lewis gets a 10-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. I'm not sure what that's about, but last McLaren. Is he going to fight it? He's going to defend the inside. He's going to have to make Koru go all the way around the outside. Koru was willing to do it, and he's going to sneak up the inside. Is Reese Thomas going to go for that switchback? No, he just lets the Red Bull through, which would be the easier option. At least he is now in P4 in that McLaren, and then you've got Line Cookie in P5 in the Williams, and a Haas P6 at the moment. But strategy-wise, 2 people have boxed at the moment, plus 2 people for drive-throughs, and the only man inside the top 10 on the hard tyres is Ollie De Boy. There was, of course, Goncalo Silva, but he had to box for a drive-through, or Go through the drive-through. But starting another lap then onto lap 5 of this British Grand Prix, and we are almost a fifth of the way through. KP is putting on the pressure now on Keanu. Maybe he's fired up his tyres and is coping with the tyre wear better than Keanu, or maybe it's just the overall pace that Red Bull has. He showed it in Q1 and Q2. He's only a tenth and a half off his teammate in Q3, and now he is fighting for the lead again onto the onto the straight into the next couple of corners, and no moves being made yet, so we might see maybe Keanu running a more faster setup in a straight line. But again, KP will get the DRS up towards Stowe, and this DRS zone is a bit longer, and if you get the slingshot off Maggots and Beckett's, you can really get the run on them into the next couple of corners. 4/10 splitting at the moment. There's going to be no moves being made. KP is going to stay patient for the moment. He's got to remember that he's got Koru on a charge behind him, that he is 7.1 seconds off the lead, but obviously these two hold each other up for that long. Koru couldn't get back in the fight. But yeah, we have a yellow sector 3. No, Minx round, and that's probably going to it's P10. There's a huge train behind Dark Raven. Oh, Ollie Du Bois gone wide, and Mike's going to slip up the inside, side by side, into Abbey. But Mike does get that move done, and Ollie Du Bois is now going to be on pressurised by Weston, who chooses to not dive it down the inside. He's going to try to take that wider line and just sneaks up the inside there. Ollie Du Bois completely turns in, though. He's turned in like he almost wasn't there. But Weston does get the move done by brute force, as Ollie Du Bois turns in, and Mink is now past the Alpine. So the Alpine has lost 3 places in the space of about 4 or 5 corners, and Mink is now up into P9. He was P6, but he had a spinala. But again, KP is much closer on this lap. And is he going to try and get up the inside into Stowe? He's going to try brave around the outside. Nothing doing for him, and he has to stick behind now for another lap, unless he dives from down the inside into Vale. Probably doesn't look as bad as it was. That's from another lap now onto lap 7. So will this be the lap that KP can get past, or will he have to wait another one to try and get past that Mercedes, who's looking very wide at the moment? But Mink is now on the back of Weston and be looking to gain another place. His teammate currently down in P17, and it's not looking like a good day for Thomas at the moment. But yeah, at least one Haas is inside the points. But Mink is going to want to try get past Weston here. He's going to have the DRS. Weston or not. He does activate that ERS for a split second. Both on around the same ERS. Look at the closing speed from Mink. He almost went into the back of that McLaren. Is he going to try and get the switchback now? They both go for the same line. Mink takes a nice line, hits his apex, and is now going to push on towards Cops. He's going to be using that ERS. Is he going to go around the outside of Cops? Mink gets the move done even before the corner. And that was a daring move from the Haas, who makes it past Weston. Weston thinking for the long run, not trying to get an instant the first couple of laps. But yeah, Mink is now back up into P8. And we're looking to close up onto the back of that Alpha Tauri. As I see, these two are split by just merely 2/10 going on to this next lap. Let's see what happens this time around. KP is going to get another helping of the DRS. He has 70% battery. Keanu has 30%. So either Keanu needs to let him pass soon and try keep on his DRS and just save up that battery, or going to try play the same game that he's been playing for the last 7 or 8 laps, which is stay as wide as you can. But Koru has gained a second in 3 laps, so that's decent pace from the sister Red Bull, and he might come into the contest as a third man to try win this race. But again, KP is looking a lot closer now, just 4.5 tenths separate the two of them, and he looks like this time he's going to go for the move towards Stowe. He's going to pull to the outside, he's going to go round the outside, not at this occasion, but he's going to get the run towards Vale, and look how close he is. He's going to have to send it up the inside. Keanu defends the inside. Can he get this move done? It doesn't look like it's so far, but you can just see how frustrating this must be. He's just merely a tenth behind that Mercedes. Great defending from Keanu that time around. I'd say that's hard defending, more than dirty. He tried to block off as much as he could and didn't move under braking. So very nicely done from Keanu. And now we look at his battery, it's only 30%. So KP has 40% more battery than him, and Mink has had another spin and is down into P12. But so far no DNFs, which is very surprising. There's normally quite a few. But look at it this time, just 2.5 tenths. If KP can just get that extra tenth coming out of Maggots and Beckett's and towards Stowe, he will be able to close up, and I think he has it this time around. 2.5 tenths separate them. He's not using the battery, and that was very aggressive towards the left-hand side from Keanu. I don't know whether that was aggressive as it seemed. He's going to defend the inside of Vale once again. KP's not going to find a way through there, and again he's going to have to wait behind for another lap. This must be getting so frustrating. We're on to lap 10 now. I say they've been following each other from about lap 3 now on to lap 10. But let's just see if he can get the run this time around. We'll ride on board with the Red Bull. He's going to activate that DRS. He has 67% battery. Keanu is on 21%. And now towards Luffield, nothing. Brooklyn, sorry, and then into Luffield. Nothing going for the Red Bull this time. 4.5 tenths separate them. I can't remember the last time he did not. He was over 8 tenths away. It's been that close to the back for this many laps. But again, he gets the DRS and he activates his ERS, 4.5 tenths separating them. We'll see this time on board whether he can get the move done towards the inside of Vale. I think this time around, no! There's contact. There is contact, and I think from what I saw, I think that might be Keanu's fault. And KP is down into P3. And after all that just banging of wheels, I think that had to come at some point. KP comes off worse, and unfortunately for Josh, he's now getting lapped by the leaders. And that's a pretty torrid afternoon after a pretty decent qualifying. But yeah, KP is going to be very frustrated. I won't be surprised if we see a report about that one in the stewarding room. But talk about consistent. Reese Thomas has been banged in the laps in P4, and if no safety car comes in this race, I think P4 might be his, which is an amazing result for McLaren. who haven't picked up a decent amount of points yet. I think a P6 finish with Fadesy, and I don't know where Western's best finish has been, but not performing to the car's capabilities. But in Silverstone, it seems to have come alight for the two of them in P4 and 7 at the moment, respectively. Mink has managed to get back into the top 10, and Thomas is on the hard tyre. We can see who's made us stop. Only from 13th to 17th have made us stop so far. Line Cookie better crash. No, we don't want Line Cookie to crash. I can't read the rest of the message, it cuts off after one line. RIP. Anyway, that might be a penalty going Keanu's way. After that one, I don't think there was a lot of space left on the inside of Vale. Sorry, not in the inside of Vale, inside of Stowe. But EK Cloud is now pressuring Western for P6 in this race. Mike has now boxed and should be coming out P13, maybe even P12. No, I think P13 for the AlphaTauri, but obviously he is on fresh tyres, and he'll get the laps in to maybe create an undercut and get past the cars that were ahead of him before the pit stop. As that looked very wide from EK Cloud, and Western has got the position, or are they going to go side by side into Cops for the two of them, and they're going to hold it side by side, and Western does go off the track but does actually keep the place, and they are Western does get the place on a EK Cloud. That was very nice racing from the two of them. No spin. I've seen before, but Keanu is in the box and Koru is also in the box, which is strange. You surely want to at least come in on a different lap to the man you're fighting to at least get a one lap undercut overcut. But anyway, Keanu and Koru both box on the same lap. KP is going to try run long, I assume, or he might be in next lap. But Reese Thomas is also in. And that promotes Ollie the Boy, who has not stopped yet. Giancarlo Silva has not stopped yet either. Mink also in the box. Yep, so the first round of pit stops are now occurring. Dark Raven is in P2, but he hasn't boxed. So top two haven't boxed, 3 and 4 have, 5 and 6 haven't, and then from now on, yep. But yeah, from all that carnage on lap 1, there has not been one single DNF yet. Where's Fadesy? Oh yeah, it's his birthday, isn't it? Anyways, KP is now in. And Koru and Keanu both get ahead. So does Ollie the Boy, or does he? They're going to go side by side into Village. KP has those cold tyres, and Ollie the Boy, what a guy, he slips up the inside of KP. KP's going to try hold around the outside. He doesn't want any more contact on this race. I'd just leave Ollie to be, but he does unfortunately get back past that Alpine. But ooh, little moment there for KP. Ollie the boy, we on your ass. But in the midfield, we have a bit of a train forming. Mink and Thomas are now next to each other. How have we got down there? What the hell? I swear Mink was running P12. Oh. Anyway, the line cookie is going to be putting pressure on a Mercedes in a Williams. Whether he can get the move done, we wait and see. But he will have the DRS. Dark Raven will not. He is not close enough. Mink spin. Oh. Yeah, the line cookie's not close enough this time around. And Koru goes fastest on those hard tyres. So he definitely has the pace. And he's 3.5 Keanu at the moment. Yeah, Ollie and Silver, they'll probably come out ahead though. We see. Ooh, Ollie has to serve a penalty. Oh, does he? Was he just waiting there for really long? Yeah, he's definitely come up behind now. Yeah. Silly boy. Anyway, he's now behind both the Hasses, which means surely Goncalo Silva will be behind the Hasses. And then so will Max. That will promote Mink to P11. And he needs to get past one of those to get into the points. But Mac is now squabbling with Dark Raven for P6. Mac yet to box. One of two drivers who have not stopped yet. And we are on to lap 15. So unless he's going for a soft tyre to finish this race off, he's going to need to box fairly shortly. But Koru has gained 7/10 on Keanu through a lap and a half that we've been away, and KP is 6.3 off. Sure, he will not be happy in the cockpit of that Red Bull at the moment. But Mac is now squabbling with a lapped Ferrari and a Williams as they go 3 wide into Vale and then Club Corner. And who comes out on top? It looks to be the Williams of the Lion Cookie. So take that, Dave. Your driver just got overtaken by a Williams. Anyway, Koru has gained over 5/10 again. And he shortly will be right on the back of that Mercedes. But it looks to me like he has been pushing 21% battery and Keanu is on 36. So not a lot of battery for them. But more than Koru has. We watch a very nice helicopter cam of Mac, who will be trying to get that position back off the line cookie, even though he is a pit stop behind. Maybe he's waiting it out for a safety car that might never come, as well as Goncalo Silva. Very consistent laps. Mike's battery is 21. Goncalo Silva has been pushing. And 1.7 the gap as KP now puts in the fastest lap of the race. And then we can see everyone apart from Ollie the boy is on those medium tyres. Even the ones that did box. But what penalties do we have? There you go. Thomasani gets a 5-second penalty. Fuck's sake. He's having a torrid afternoon. And there'll be no points on the board for Haas this weekend. Which is extremely sad. But back to the midfield fight. And we have 2 Astons and 2 Alphas all fighting it out for P8. Mac currently leads them from Mike, and then you got Lewis and EK Cloud, who won't be scoring any points, but at least he's racing for the fun of it. But yeah. Mike is going to get the DRS on the hanger straight on Mac, and would hope to get the move done. Unless, of course, Mac boxes this lap, but it looks like he's going to get overtaken by that Alpha. Mike chooses the outside and is going to try brave it around the outside. They go wheel to wheel in towards Vale now. Mac has to give up the position to Mike, who manages to find a way round. That was very nice driving from the Alpha Tauri to get himself up into P8. And I assume shortly we'll be seeing team orders at Aston Martin for Lewis to get... oh no, we've already seen them. My bad. But Koru is closing 1.2 seconds. But I think he has been using his battery a lot more. 17% on that Red Bull, and we have 41% on Keanu. So this time Keanu has the upper hand of ERS, but obviously Koru has that DRS to aid him as well. And that gap now is down to a second. So we will see how this one pans out for the next couple of laps. Lewis gets a penalty for multiple warnings. And I assume Koru is going to get the DRS on this lap as he just sneaks in under a second. And now we can see what the pace is like in a straight line for this Red Bull compared to the Mercedes. Last time out, KP got spun round by the Mercedes. I don't think there was enough room left into Stowe, and KP, I think, will be finishing a maximum P3, which will not help him in the driver's standings. If Keanu takes home all 25 points, then that gap will be reduced by 10 from 26 to 16. So then the championship fight will definitely be on, as Mink has had another spin and is down to P14. And yeah. I don't think we've seen Goncalo's silver box yet. No, he's still not boxed. So is a lot of consistent laps coming from him, but he still just hasn't boxed yet. Corin will not be close enough on this lap, but 5/10 is the gap now. We have yellow sector 1, and that is another Mink spin. And Haas are down to P15 and 16. But here we go then, round 2 for Keanu versus Koru. Last time out was just a taster round. There was no places to pass. Koru just wasn't close enough. But this time the gap is around 5/10, and going on now out of Village. He's going to grab that DRS. No ERS being used so far. 6 laps remaining in this Grand Prix, and Koru is going to have to find his way past Keanu if he wants to win this one. Mac picks up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Goncalo Silva has also now boxed. So finally the Alpine boxes after 20 laps, so fair enough. I think he'll pop on the soft tyres. He's going to have some superb pace for this final stint. He's going to come out just behind the McLaren as well, so hopefully he can pick him off quickly and then get onto the back of EK Cloud, who's a few seconds up the road. But look how close Koru is this time. He's going to be using that ERS and DRS, going to pull to the outside of Stowe. Keanu's going to try hold it on the inside. They go side by side, and Keanu has spun it. Keanu's lost it on the edge of Stowe, and just like we saw what happened with KP, Keanu now spins and he's down to P3. So I assume Koru is now going to lead us and take home the victory after dropping to P10 on the opening lap. His rival for this race has spun it at Stowe, and huge disappointment from the Mercedes. Yeah, that's really not going to help him in the championship now. A second place would have been better than where he is now. I wouldn't say that's too much his fault. He's obviously trying to hold it for the lead, of course. Did we go see those two side by side? We did. Mike and F1 Lewis battling it out for P7. Maybe Aston Martin might score some points in this race. F1 Lewis just needs to not mess it up. Who remembers when he was fighting for a podium at the start of this race? Now he's fighting for 7th place against an AlphaTauri. 5 laps remaining in this Grand Prix. He's going to get the DRS and trying to make a move in towards Luffield. No, nothing going for him on this time around. He's going to have to wait until the next helping of DRS. But after what we saw, a shook up order when KP slipped to 3rd, Corey was down in 10th, Keanu was 1st. We now see what was qualifying, which was Koru, KP, Keanu, and I think for the first time this season, Koru is going to take home the victory. KP goes fastest on this lap, 30.7, and none of them have got any charge left in their battery. I believe Dark Raven had a spin, I think, a lap ago, so not what he would have wanted. That does bring the Lion Cookie a lot closer. I didn't realise what these two were doing. They're going side by side into Vale, and it's a good battle between these two. Lewis gets a bit trigger happy, and he has spun it. Oh, you just earned yourself disqualification. Oh, such an L. No, Lewis. Oh, he got disqualified from Austria, now disqualified from Britain. And I think he might have scored points. So Ollie De Boy is far, far back. I'd like to see what kind of state Goncalo Silva's tyres are in after just 2 laps. Because I think the tyres go through the roof. Just on this game in general. Soft tyres are not normally a good race tyre. But obviously if you want to bang some laps in at the end of the session, why not? Weston is fighting Ted for P12. Not a points paying position. At the moment, it will be 9th and 10th for Alpine. No, sorry. No, Ted will get a point if he finishes there. Because Lewis getting disqualified, so is Cloud. So it'll be 1 points paying position for these two. Whoever finishes on top in these last couple of laps. We are 3 laps away from the checkered flag, and Weston is still battling T. Crombie for 13th place. No, sorry, 12th place. But nothing going in that DRS zone. I think Ted might have the upper hand in straight line speed as Weston locks up. I heard. Nobody at the moment is within a second of each other. But what a drive it's been from Reece Thomas so far. What a drive. And we will see if anyone can get within each other's DRS, and if we will have another battle on La Racetrack. Weston has left the session. No, 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 no. That means he's going to be out of the fight for the final points playing position. And Mink gets himself into P13. So how have we not had a DNF? Are we if we are. It's like the first time. But nobody is close to each other at the moment. And Koru just needs to bang in 3 more consistent lap times to earn himself a first victory in Dryline Racing League, which will... His best place so far this season has been second, which he achieved twice so far. KP has taken 3 victories. Keanu has also taken 3 victories. And then we got Ben Finch, who obviously terminated his contract. And you got the AlphaTauri pair, and then Pan Polly, who is missing this one. But this will be Reese Thomas's first points in Dryline Racing League, I believe. He is currently 26th in the standings. He has not made a race this season apart from Australia, in which he DNF'd. Corey navigates traffic. What happened there? What's happened to Thomas? Whatever it is, I don't think this is a good day for Haas. And Thomas sends himself into the barriers. Thomas, you had to ruin it, didn't you? We were actually going to have a race where nobody DNF'd. Why'd you do that? Anyway, on to the final lap now. And this will be Koru's first ever victory with Red Bull, or in Dryline Racing League altogether. It's taken him 7 rounds in a Red Bull, after getting beaten by his teammate 3 times and beaten by Mercedes 3 times. This will be his first place finish, as long as nothing dramatic happens on this last lap. All he has to do is navigate a Williams, a lapped Williams, and he is taking home the victory at the British Grand Prix, and a title fight might not yet be over. He's 70 points behind KP, but obviously he gains 10 points in this one, so the gap is 60 points. And with how many rounds do we have left? 2, 4. We have 5 rounds remaining. That is still possible. If he takes 10 points every single round out of KP, this championship is definitely on for him. But let's not focus on the future for now. Let's focus on this race. And after dropping to about P10 on that opening lap, having to fight for P3, it looked like an eventual P3 after his 2 championship rivals collided, which gave him the victory today at the British Grand Prix. Koru rounds the final corner and takes victory in Britain, 25 points to his name. KP takes home a solid P2. Keanu, after getting himself in a little bit of trouble with KP, takes home P3 and the final spot of the podium. And an excellent drive from Reese Thomas is going to earn himself a P4 finish for McLaren, as long as he can navigate these final 2 corners, which we hope he can, for the final time at this Silverstone circuit. He rounds the final corner to take home P4 for McLaren. Dark Raven will take home P5 for Mercedes, and a decent finish from him. Mike will take home P6, and an excellent drive from the Lion Cookie in the Williams takes home P7. EK Cloud takes home P8, but that's not real. He is getting a penalty, so that's okay. F1 Lewis also gets a penalty. T Crombie is going to finish P9. Ollie the Boy gets promoted to P10, I believe. And then we have Just Mac and Weston. Was a very interesting British Grand Prix. There we go then. Koru takes home his first victory of the season. And it's a 1-2 for Red Bull in Silverstone. So a 1-2 finish for Red Bull and third place for Keanu after a spin for both. I think all three of them had a spin, to be fair. I don't really know what happened with that first lap. It was kind of chaos absolutely everywhere. But champagne's being sprayed. And Red Bull take home another big amount of points. There we go then. That is this British Grand Prix. I mean, yeah. Come back next week for round 8 at Belgium. Hopefully it'll be streamed on one just single stream. Yeah, we will see you again next week for the Belgium Grand